Hello, and welcome to a talk segment. My workout's going to be a bit later. Just doing this a bit first. So the title of the video is "You Don't Really Need Talent." The reason why I like to say that is because in terms of the people I've observed and everything, and yeah, talent does help. Like, if you have talent, that's great. You'll be absurdly good at something without even trying. But the thing that makes people successful at what they do is that obsession, that drive to want more, Because there's one example I can think of, and it's one of my friends. So he's going for his first powerlifting meet. So this is just his first. He's got a total of, so he deadlifts 250, squats 212.5, and benches 140 and 142.5. So you do the maths. He's pretty strong, and I've been in the gym with him for like the last 2.5 years. And I can tell you this, did the guy have the greatest genetics of all time? Did he deadlift 180 straight away? No. The guy started at deadlifting probably less than 100. I can't remember what he said to me, but to go from that to where he is, I know what the key is when he achieves that. It's his obsession. He doesn't have the genetics one guy had when that came to our gym not long ago. I don't know if he still goes, but the first time this guy deadlifted, so this is a different guy. He deadlifted 180. Hadn't deadlifted before. Worked his way up. Did from 110 all the way up. Go by tens, easily hit 180. Now that guy has genetic talent. But you see, people with talent often take it for granted. I mean, I don't particularly see myself as talented. Like the stuff I've done, even education, I'm not that great. Reading, I'm not that great. I'd argue in fighting, I'm not really that great. And in lifting terms, I'm not really that great either. But it's that obsession that's got me where I am and has got me where my friend is, You don't need to be a fucking genetic freak to be impressive. I had a guy come up to me. We're doing tricep push downs. He's a skinny guy, so slightly a bit bigger than I was when I was skinny. But he said, "Oh, what's holding me back is my genetics." I was skinnier than this kid, and I've managed to achieve the body I have. It's not the greatest body in the world, but take this. If you actually put in the work, put in the effort to put your protein in, your carbs, bulking up, cutting, all that stuff will pay off. That's what people don't seem to understand. Obsession beats talent every time. If I fully put myself into one area, or if you put yourself into one area, you will excel in that because you are so obsessed, you're so fixated on that, and it will, become great. For a year, my mum has been running, and from the start, I could never imagine her doing the 5K, but she did it, and also my mum is going on to do some 10Ks, and it's honestly brilliant what she's managed to do. I mean, I won't put a picture of my mum up because, so my mum used to be overweight and, hated her existence basically. And now she's a lot happier and she runs these distances like 10k, 5k. And, you know, she didn't have the greatest start point at all, but she got there through time and effort and that obsession to, you know, help herself. And that's what you need. If you want to get a good physique, obsession, track your protein, most of all. Like, per pound of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight will do it, you know. Training hard, you know, when you're a beginner, it's like you can go a bit lighter and, you know, not burn yourself out too much. But some of these kids I see, granted, they're kids at the end of the day, like 16, 17. And I can tell you this, it's either they ego lift or don't even train till failure. Like, there's this one kid that bites his fucking chain and, you know, tries to bench like 100 for, I don't know how many, but as many as he can every time. Granted, he's got good genetics. He got there in the first place at 16. But when it comes to training, you need a good training program. You shouldn't be like doing 100 till failure only for 2 reps. And I've even seen him do 1 at one point. And it's like, you're kind of fucking yourself. It's all about that structuredness. Don't listen to your little ego saying, I'm a big man, I need to do this. Like, I could have gone with my ego when people are looking at me weird, because literally I was benching like 120, 130 casually, just like boom, boom, boom. And now I can barely do like 115 because of my shoulder. I could have let my ego get the best of me and just like put some plates on and everything. But no, I actually take that maturity and I know in myself I will build that back up because I'm so obsessed with what I'm doing, you know. And that's where you gotta look at it. Because this body, my strength, did not come out of nowhere. It came from being obsessed. Like, some motherfuckers be like, oh, I got a girlfriend now, I can piss off. Even when I had girlfriends. Well, yeah, I had 2 throughout my time of lifting. So in my 2.5 years, I've had 2. Even then, I still went to the gym and everything. I even went to the gym when I visited my last girlfriend. Like, I still went. It was a pure gym, but fuck me. I still did not quit because I was like, that obsession will bring me joy in the future, because my aspiration is to be, you know, looking good still at 60, 80. You know, I don't want to be in the situation that my granddad's in, which is deteriorating muscles, ligaments and everything, because he didn't have that knowledge to, you know, build up his legs so he can still stand. I don't want to be in that situation. I mean, he's nearly 90, but still, I'd rather not be in that situation. And through fitness and, you know, muscle building and all that, you might find a path you really like my friends found powerlifting. I might go into bodybuilding and powerlifting, you know, that kind of thing. This stuff builds up over time. It's just most people like on their phones all day, scrolling through TikTok, and they're so like obsessed with the dopamine rush. And I'm like, bruh, it's all about the journey. Yes, you will have shit workouts. I've had shit workouts. But you will have the good workouts. It's what makes them fucking good. Unless they'll just be average and then you're just like, Like, there comes a time and place for, you know, big lifts and everything. But when it comes to it, training, you know, certain types of training, strength training and, you know, progressive overload comes down to it. And, you know, feeding yourself, that's where the discipline lies. And, you know, And people blame their genetics. It's not your genetics, it's you. Because you can get a good body. I don't care who the fuck limits this belief on you. You can get a good body. It's just, are you willing to do it? Because it's not my body, it's yours. Like, I can't do it for you. I can't force feed you like the 200 grams of protein. I can't, replace your muscles with Ronnie Coleman's big ass tits. I can't do that. You have to, put in the work, put in the hours, and change what's ours, whatever the fuck Rock says. But just think of this. Where would I be if I actually tried my hardest? Put in that focus. You'd be a lot further, wouldn't you? So, my advice would be, is to, do your research, find a workout program that's fit for you, find a eating regime that works for you. If you're a bit of a lard ass, have more protein, that fills you up a bit more. And honestly, if anything, just do your cardio as well. I do MMA, which I count as cardio because, fuck me, I'm dead at the end. But I do cardio on Sunday and stuff. I do those kinds of things to help myself, as well as doing the lifting. So it's all down to you at the end of the day. Do you want it bad enough, or do you just want it because of the so-called benefits? Because I can tell you this, if you get a good physique, girls will come to you, yeah, sure. But you still need a personality and everything. I'll be honest, but doesn't instantly get them. You probably got more compliments from men than women, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, we're on to my workout today. It is week 3, and it's deadlifts, back and biceps. So go through deadlifts, rush through back basically, and then biceps. The usual gist. But enjoy the rest of the video. So we are now on to 215 deadlift. Went fairly alright, nothing too bad about it. Just having to move because the deadlift platform ain't that great. It's just very bouncy. So yeah, I think more or less just try and keep it on the floor. Just try and not let it bounce. So I honestly don't know, but yeah, it felt pretty good. And back downs 185 just felt pretty easy. So yeah, it looks like 230 is going up for 2, and yeah, hopefully I get it with somewhat difficulty but somewhat ease, if you get what I mean, because I don't want to be too easy, because then I could have gone for more. But we're not on to that. We are on to Penley rows. Got 105 kilos on the bar, just some casual rows. Now, do I believe these will help you deadlift? A bit, yeah, because it's like the upper back activation and everything when you're doing your deadlifting, and it'll just increase it by a bit, which RDLs also do, so you can pick and choose. But anyway, on to some actual muscle building. We are doing some lat pull downs, of course starting off with a higher weight. So here I did 100 and then went down to 90 for 2 sets, and then went 80 and 70, and that was basically the entire thing basically. Do I think this is the best technique? For me personally, yes. For you it may be different, because yet again everybody's different, and I do not judge, because
If you want to just do like just a solid amount of sets of one weight, then you can. But me personally, I think lowering the weight and going for more truly does add more size and intensity to the workout, because without that you won't necessarily grow, in my opinion. But if you do, then all fairs to you. But with this, I'm trying to grow my lats a bit more, grow them lower, because I do have fairly high insertions for lats, and trying to build that more V shape instead of the, T shape that I used to have, which is sort of still with me, but we're improving at least. And yeah, all's going well, so not much to complain about. Now onto some rows. Leaning further back so I can activate those traps, and yeah, it definitely does work. And similar like concept to the lat pull down. Try and not let the tension fully go, And with this, it's just basically the same thing. So like I do a higher weight and then I, go down and then do a drop set. It's like a Dorian Yates style of training where you just like go from a, higher weight to a lower weight and drop setting it basically, because that's what Urs Kalazensky does, it's what Mike Menza did, it's what Tom Platz used to do, all these things have been proven to be quite effective, so I'm trying them myself and I've found a lot of success with it, so I would definitely recommend it. And I'm not letting the arms fully go, I'm just keeping that tension on my trap and then just pulling back and trying to squeeze the back muscle, because that's how it's made, and that is how you get a thicker back, because I'm trying to build my back more thicker as well, because my traps aren't necessarily my best, because I do struggle with activating them, which I tend to find when I do the more backwards thing, so like leaning back, it's a lot better. But anyway, on some biceps, I did these, as like a quick, almost pre-fatigue warm-up. So just a couple cable front curls, I don't know what the hell you want to call it, but these were fairly, easy. Just like waiting for the preacher curl, because yet again, I think preacher curl is quite effective in my own view. And yeah, it's sort of like a preacher curl. It would attack. It typically would like use the bicep in a similar way, but you don't have that like support. So I mean, either way, bicep, if you do it like front and back, you're basically doing the entire bicep, so getting in different positions, and just by doing that you'll be able to grow a decent set of biceps. And well, there's not really much to say about biceps. It's got like only like two like sections really, long head and short head, and I believe the long head's more activated when it's like behind you, and then the short head is more activated when it's like in front of you, something like that. All a bunch of biomechanics that I do not understand, but didn't do any like backwards like bicep movement where it's like behind you, but it sort of gets that, you still like hitting the same muscle, because even though it's not in like these different positions that these science-based lifters like to say, is you're still working the muscle, regardless of where where's your like path of what is it, resistance, your path of resistance, because even if I'm just doing preacher curls, I'm still targeting the whole of the bicep, because I'm using the bicep. Who would have guessed? But don't overcomplicate it, because my typical top bicep movements probably would be is a preach curl variant, mainly single arm, because then you can support yourself, which you'll be able to see when I do preach curls. I do support myself when it gets near failure, and I tend to find that's the best movement for me. And cable curls, where it's like behind you, so like I believe it's called Bayesian cable curls, whatever the fuck they want to call it. Yeah, those are also pretty effective. And then like some sort of like a hammer cable variation, because my whole like thing with just dumbbell curls is, and barbell curls is, just like the tension doesn't really do it for me. Like, yeah, I can probably curl 50 for like a couple reps, and doing a bit of cheating at the end. And, same with dumbbells, doing like, 20 in each hand, keep going and everything. But you see, with that, I don't really see where, because the tension always is shit at the bottom, which is why I do cables so often. It's because that tension factor. Because yes, it's the same movement, same pathway, but it provides more tension. Like, I would get it if I just had dumbbells. I'd probably just do that. But in this gym, I have cables which are freely available, so that's why I just do those variations, because it's a lot more fitting for me. But as well as preach curl, it's angled at such a, how do I say this? It's angled so, perfectly, that it keeps the tension even at the bottom. And that's why I like preach curl, and I prefer it over, just standing dumbbell curls, because honestly, doing standing dumbbell curls never really did it for me. And that's just me. You can do different, It's not like you've got my body. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. But it doesn't work for me. Therefore, I just do preacher and a lot of cable movements for my biceps. And similar thing with my triceps. I do a lot of tricep push down, tricep extension, and do the skull crushers now and again for my like tricep strength and everything. So it's like a similar process, because I'm more of a tension and intensity person, and I prefer it that way because that's how I see it. I've had more success with that. So it's all down to you at the end of the day. But yet again, we have after this, I just put in one. I did like 3, but just to save you some time, because it's not that most entertaining thing in the world. And then just posed afterwards, looking like a slightly buff Casper the Ghost is how I describe myself. But I put like a lot of shading on that, because to be honest, I'm so white, the detail just fades. I look like a, was it Michelin Man? I look like a Michelin Man, and it isn't really good. So, and by putting on the darkness filter, using contrast and stuff, I'm able to look a lot better. So yeah, anyway, enjoy the rest of the video, because posing, I have my friend just peeking out the corner in one bit. So yeah, dude with a mustache, sexy mullet man as we like to call him in the gym. So enjoy the rest of it.
Besides that, I mean, It's in that area, so I'm pretty much fine here. I think it just means while in the changing rooms. So like this, I wouldn't consider this the changing room, I consider it the toilet.
Yeah.